Why does it often happen that in a 100-meter race, an athlete is behind at the start but catches up by the end? Many times, a 100 or 200-meter sprinter outruns a 400-meter athlete who has been training for 400 meters for years. Why is it that in long jump, many athletes slowly build up their speed and still manage to make a good jump, but when you give your full effort from start to end in your long jump run-up, you still don't get a good jump? Why does the same pole vault pole help one athlete jump over 6 meters while another athlete can't even cross 4.2 or 5 meters? The simple reason behind all these things is top speed. Top speed simply means how fast an athlete can run. And many times, athletes confuse it with acceleration. Acceleration and top speed are two different things. If we understand a basic difference between the two, this video will become easier for you to understand. Acceleration is just like the accelerator of a bike or scooter. You must have seen a speedometer in a vehicle. If the speedometer of a vehicle looks like this, it means the vehicle is stationary. It has no speed. But if the speedometer looks like this, it means the vehicle is moving at a speed of 60 kilometers per hour. This meaning is very simple, and so is this one. But what happens when the speed of the vehicle is increasing? That process is called acceleration. We can take a vehicle from 0 to 60 kilometers per hour in 10 seconds, or we can also take it in 15 seconds. That depends on the driver, how quickly he is accelerating the vehicle, how fast he is increasing the speed. But what speed the car is capable of reaching depends on its engine. The driver can't do anything about that. I hope now you clearly understand the meaning of acceleration and top speed. The same way these things work in your sport too. The maximum speed you can run, that is your top speed. But how quickly you can reach that speed limit, that is your acceleration. And the events I just mentioned, like 100, 200, 400 meters, long jump, pole vault, triple jump. In all these events, top speed is more important than acceleration, and improving top speed is a bit more difficult. Improving acceleration is slightly easier, but top speed is a tougher thing to improve. And in today's video, we'll try to understand what we can do to improve our top speed. The first thing is, if we want to improve our top speed, we'll have to work out for it. We'll have to do some repetitions, but these reps won't be like your usual ones, like doing a 60-meter or 70-meter sprint. You can definitely do them, and even in those, you'll hit a top speed section. But in 60 to 70-meter sprints, your focus also remains on acceleration. Most of the time, when we do repetitions, even if we go all out, we end up training both acceleration and top speed together. But if you want to train one specific thing properly, then you should only focus on that one thing. For example, if you're a 100-meter athlete, you don't always run full 100-meter reps. Many times you do 20, 30, or 40-meter reps. And the reason you do them is so you can improve your acceleration, your start phase. So just like that, if you only want to focus on acceleration, then you remove the top speed and speed endurance phases and focus just on that one aspect. Similarly, if you want to improve your top speed, then we also need to remove the acceleration and speed endurance parts from the end. We have to focus only on that specific thing. And the best workout for that is the flying workout. In this, you place two cones, 10 meters, 20 meters, or 30 meters apart. You start running from behind, and the goal is to cover the distance between those two cones in as little time as possible. Now, in this workout, athletes make some very common mistakes, which you should avoid. The first mistake is that athletes don't accelerate enough in the beginning. So by the time they reach the first cone, they're not even at their top speed. If we want to cover the distance from this cone to that cone in the least possible time, then that entire section has to be at 100% top speed. But what happens very often is that athletes reach this point and only then start accelerating. They might hit their top speed somewhere in between these two cones, but before that, they are running at something like 80%, 70%, or 60% of their top speed. Because of this, the full section doesn't come out as effective. So if you're doing a flying workout, you should try that 5 or 10 meters before the first cone. You've already hit your top speed. Catch your top speed and then try to maintain that speed throughout this section. In the flying workout, after crossing this cone, we shouldn't try to further increase our speed. We just need to maintain whatever speed we've already reached. Now, even if you manage to hit your top speed 5 or 10 meters before the first cone, you still have to accelerate to reach that speed. And what type of acceleration you use, that will determine what your top speed will be. There are two types of acceleration. One is graduation, the other is maximum acceleration. We use both types of acceleration to reach our top speed. But with maximum acceleration, our goal is to reach our top speed speed as fast as possible, giving our full effort. Whereas with graduation, we aim to reach top speed too, but gradually, slowly. We don't try to hit top speed as quickly as possible. And the interesting thing is, a research study showed that with graduation, we can actually achieve better top speeds. That's why you may have noticed that long jump athletes don't come in sprinting with full effort from the start. They gradually increase their speed, because in that case, their top speed will be higher. And if the top speed is higher, then their jump distance will also be long. One more thing to keep in mind for top speed is that you should not try to increase your speed forcibly. And instead of using horizontal force, you should use vertical force. With horizontal force, we try to push the ground backward, and with vertical force, we try to push the ground downward. Applying horizontal force causes our body to accelerate, and applying vertical force helps our body maintain its speed. Once you've reached your top speed, if you try to forcibly accelerate or push your speed even further, then the chances of a back kicking is because you're trying to push the ground backward forcefully. Instead, you should not push the ground backward, but push it down. Initially, trying this might feel awkward. Biomechanically, this is the best technique. It's not that horizontal force will be completely removed. There will still be a little horizontal force, but your main focus should be on vertical force. A little horizontal force will always be there. And another thing is that our top speed also depends on our acceleration. If your acceleration is not good, then your top speed won't be good either. But it often happens that an athlete has good acceleration but doesn't have good top speed. Now, should you focus on acceleration or more on top speed? Let me tell you a very general rule of thumb. If your 100-meter time is above 12 seconds, then you should focus more on acceleration. And if your time is under 12 seconds, but your strength and power are weak, then you should still focus on acceleration. But if your strength and power are good, then you should focus more on top speed. However, this is very general. It won't always be accurate. And our top speed also depends heavily on one more thing: neuromuscular coordination. Because at top speed, what happens is your brain is sending signals to your muscles to perform a movement and do it as fast as possible. And that can only happen if the signal from your brain to your muscles is also fast. If the signal to the muscles is slow, how will the muscles perform quickly? And this neuromuscular coordination improves over time. For example, imagine a large field with tall grass. The first time you go through it, it'll be difficult. But if 10 to 15 people start walking through that field daily, a path will naturally form and the grass on the sides will stay the same. The same way our neuromuscular coordination works. Beginner athletes don't have this coordination as strong, but as you keep training over time, the connection between your muscles and mind becomes stronger. Because of that, as your body matures and you gain more training experience, your top speed also improves. Now, just like the flying workout, we can also do an in and out workout to improve top speed.